So welcome everyone. As I promised you, we are here today with a special guest, actually an interesting guest from Indonesia. He's a friend of mine. He's really good at speaking English, and today we are going to talk to him and discuss how was his journey with learning English. So, Mr. Fatir, could you please tell us about yourself?
Yeah, as you mentioned, hi everybody, my name is Fathir. I got a very long name, by the way. It's Muhammad Fathir Arizari Al-Waliullah, but you can call me Fathir. I'm 22 and I am from Indonesia, as you mentioned, and I'm currently studying at Al-Bukhari International University, pursuing my degree in Bachelor's of Media and Communication.
So, Mr. Fatir, when did you start learning English?
All right, so when did I start learning? Well, I couldn't really remember when exactly I learned English, right? But I could recall the very beginning I learned English is definitely when I was very little. I think the very beginning was I was 5 years old. I noticed there's this strange language that I heard, from the televisions, and I'm like, what is this? That curiosity was the thing that hooked me basically. But properly learning, it was back when I was in elementary. So then when I was started to read something in English, write something in English, and pronounce something in English, like pronouncing some words in English. And then following that time, I began to more properly learning when I was in high school, because there was a volunteer from the United States of America, from the US, and he taught me a lot more, especially on speaking. So not only textual book set of learning, but it's literally me practice with him in improving my speaking. Yeah, so there are stages technically, but very beginning was like elementary. That's the very beginning I learned English.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So, did you face any difficulties learning English?
I do. I mean, definitely as Indonesian, right? It's not my first language, and as I told you, since the very beginning I learned English. It's not like right away I learned and then fluently speaking in English. I consider myself as fluent in English now, but back then I was, honest to God, it was very rough. It was very rough. It was very tough. But then now that I think about it, it's a whole process. I understand now. Without those moments, I couldn't be who I am now. Like being able to speak English confidently and fluently. And there are many difficulties. One of them is definitely speaking. When you try to speak in the environment that is not supporting or supportive, where no one is speaking English to you. Nobody is speaking English unless you meet a foreigner or white guy, for example, or anybody who speaks English, right?
Which was very difficult.
Yeah, and people, especially during my elementary time, it's a little kid. So every time I try to speak English, they'd be like, who are you? What who are you?
Yeah, I totally understand.
Aren't you not Indonesian? Do not try to clone somebody else or pretend to be a white person or something. That's the stereotype that I got a long time ago. And then following to my high school moment, people said that you are living in Indonesia and you don't need, it's unnecessary for you to speak English. And those unsupportive environment really much a challenge for me in improving myself as learning English and improving my speaking skill. Other than that, second one is the accessibility. Thank God I'm privileged to have the American teacher. But then besides that, I learned by myself. I have to go to the library, to grab some English books. And at that time, I don't have phone yet, so I do not have access to internet. So I don't know YouTube. I had no idea what social media is. So I just literally traditionally learning myself, reading a dictionary. That is very weird, but it is what I did, and literally remembering and memorizing words by words. So that's accessibility and supportive environment. That's the challenges or difficulties that I faced a long time ago.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. I actually can't see myself in your
Right.
position a long time ago. Yeah. So the last thing for today, which is, what is your advice to a student who started learning English?
My advice, well, I've got actually a very traditional advice, like do not stop learning. And I know it sounds very cliche, but keep going, like keep learning, and whatever stages you are at or wherever you are at now. Because some people put a level, some people, oh, okay, you know what, I'm now at the level of intermediate, where I am able to speak English, write and read in English, but not properly speaking, for example, or properly doing it. So whatever you are at whatever stages you are at, please keep going, keep learning. Because if you stop, the moment you stop, believe me, it's just everything that you learn, it will be gone. Because languages has to do with practice. Languages has to do with memorization, with practice. So without learning it, you know, practice meaning learning every day, it will just disappear right away. Besides that, I am very confident with nowadays generation because you got the access as opposed to our generation probably back even in Indonesia, right? I mean in your country too. So like it's not easy to learn English back in 2008, 9 and 10. And I know that technology is, you know, basically appeared already, but then still I didn't have the access for that. So I'm confident, so please do take that advantage of social media, because now everything is in English. Many YouTube videos talks about how to speak English from the very simple way, from the very beginning level, let's say.
From the basis.
From the basis. The third one, put your confidence. I think, regardless, I know that now we have a lot of accessibility in terms of internet and everything, but some people are still facing that confidence sort of problem. When they're trying to learn new language, they feel like they sounded weird in the first place. Especially when you learn it from a very basic way.
And especially when they go and talk to natives.
Exactly.
Yeah, they struggle a lot, and they got the fear of, oh, he's going to judge me, he's going to say something.
Yeah, some people face some anxiety and sort of like all those things, basically craziness. But like, please keep that confident. I know you sound so bad. I did. I still remember that. I really do remember where I sound like very weird. You know, it's not that I'm trying to be so like English person, whatever. But of course, if you learn something, especially language, you have to sound like them. It's not that you're trying to imitate, but that's how you properly speak it, right? It's
and
not
the more
that
you sound weird, the more you actually closest to the actual thing.
True, exactly. So keep going. There are three things. So let me recall. First, that you have to keep going, keep learning, keep practicing.
True.
Secondly, you take the advantage of the access that exists. Everything nowadays is easy. And then the third one is to keep your confidence. Keep your heads up and be confident. I know you feel like you speak weirdly. You feel like you don't sound right when you're speaking, when you speak in English or any other languages. So please just do keep confident and focus on yourself. Because I don't know, one step ahead, very soon. As soon as you keep going, you'll just you'll arrive eventually to where you actually wanted to. Just to be able to speak English fluently.
Yeah, totally understandable.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was all for today, and thank you guys for spending the time to watch this video. It was a pretty interesting conversation, and I hope you got something out of it, and I hope it was as beneficial as possible. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you.
That was all.